Hi Aries, welcome to Sophquest. I'm Spence. This is your weekly reading for November 8th through the 14th. We're in the third week of Scorpio season and it has been a deep one. I have to say the new moon a couple of weeks ago was really pretty massive, I thought. It was a full moon in Aries and with Chiron there, big for you, right Aries? Also, this week, we're in between the new moon that we just had in Scorpio, which was about a week ago, and the full moon we're going to have in Taurus on the 19th. So we're in between lunations right now. And as the moon starts to get bigger and brighter, and it waxes into its fullness for the next couple weeks, from the beginning of this week to the end of next week, that new moon, I suppose, impulse, initiation, the thing you're trying to begin, that you're building energy toward, moving toward Aries, well, that's going to be growing. And we've got some interesting astrology this week, although the only thing I really want to say about this week is that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but most especially Wednesday, Mercury, the planet of communication, and Mars, your planet, which is very fiery and can be very, very aggressive, assertive, is squaring Saturn, which makes things a little more tense and a little more difficult. So communication issues, struggles, and perhaps a war of words could happen. So I definitely want to let you know about that, Aries, and everybody else actually. I think we're working things out later in the week. I love this beautiful Sun trine Neptune that happens on Friday. It can be very enlightening. And if we remember kindness, if we truly just remember to speak with kind words, I think we're all going to feel much better this week. All right, so we're going to use this week Nature's Whispers by Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall. Love this deck. Stunningly beautiful. And we are going to use the Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. All right, Aries, let's just jump it right in for you. Nature's Whispers. I love the artwork of this deck. It is truly inspirational to me by Josephine Wall. I think she's an incredible artist, and I think they're all beautiful. I will read you a little bit of the excerpt from the book. Let's hope I'm not as tongue-tied as last week. I always start with you, Aries, every week because, you know, I just like to go in order, and the bottom line is I trip up with you the most. So, Aries, you have to forgive me. That's all there is to it. I got to get used to my flow for the week, right? And get into it. All right. One for you. No. Just going to mix it up a little bit. There we go. Pause. Probably really good advice for you, Aries. Pause. Look at this beautiful painting. Pause. All right. That is, isn't that the most serene color blue? Isn't that just stunningly beautiful? I love that for you, Aries. All right, so we're going to read about that in just a moment. Meanwhile, if you would just settle with me, Aries, and take 3 deep cleansing breaths, just because it makes you feel really good, oxygenates the brain, lowers the cortisol, which brings down your stress, helps you to settle in, take a few moments for yourself for a little contemplation, to just consider. Consider the messages as they come through. If they don't apply to you, then they don't, and if they do, you know it, right? That's the way. All right, I've shuffled these previously, but I'm going to always do a little on camera before I cut the deck. All right, there we go. I'm going to lay out your 9 today. I'm going to read horizontally, vertically, and big picture as usual. And the 3 on the bottom of the deck, which indicates basically the subconscious trying to come up to the surface to be cleansed, cleared, and healed. And in Scorpio, that's what we do, right? Scorpio is the deep emotion, the deep abiding love, the things that we stick to, the things that we bond to, and sometimes become in bondage to, right? To the shadow side of it. And transmuting energy. It is the 8th house of life, death, rebirth, transmutation. Now that we have them laid out, let's take a look at what we're looking at. First of all, I'm going to tell you what the cards are, and then I'm going to show you, of course, each and every card on this table, Aries. And, we'll go from there. All right. So first we're going to look at pause. Number 4. All right, Aries. Hope you had a good week last week. Okay, so pause. It says, take a moment to assess what's really going on at this time. You're holding on to control and not allowing many wonderful blessings to come into your life, perhaps. Grant yourself an opportunity to get into the sunshine. You deserve to receive this new prospect. Resistance can create unnecessary blocks. Interference can be caused by a multitude of energies, including your own attitude, other people, the weather, and so on. Create the opportunity to regroup and don't feel the need to fight what's happening. That's a waste of energy. Find something else to do and then wait until there's a better flow to finish the task at hand. The willingness to try something new is all that's needed to create something wonderful. So it's really kind of stop and get an assessment of what opportunity is right in front of you. What new prospect? And are you blocking it or allowing interference to keep you from it because perhaps you're not sure that it's meant for you? But what if it is? And you just said that to yourself. Some opportunity is coming in that's meant for me. And I'm going to allow it. And I'm not going to resist it. What if you just said that to yourself and you took a good look at it? Right? And you just say, okay, I'm going to take a minute to really consider what this could be for me, what it could mean for my life. That pause is very important to you because you are looking at your happiness. I'm looking at the 10 of Cups. This deck is so gorgeous. The 10 of Cups, you can see these two figures are standing in front of the tree of life, building that tree of life, their life story together. The 10 of Cups is happiness with others. It's the life well lived, sharing love together, right? The 9 of Cups is personal happiness and fulfillment, but the 10 of Cups is, when we have that with others and we share love with others and feel loved by others. So it's loving and being loved. And with the Wheel of Fortune, there is a change in your life that's happening this new season, right? Scorpio teaches that, life, death, rebirth. Unto everything there is a season. You feel the season now with the Wheel of Fortune. And with the Knight of Wands, I'm seeing this as you internally, ready to jump in, ready to get a little more energized and kind of just jump in and go for something. It's like, I really want to add more enjoyment with others into my life and I really want to make this change. So I'm just going to jump right in. I think that you're feeling passionate. I mean, look at the way the cards came out on my table. The Knight of Wands is just running right towards this wheel to move it forward into the 10 of Cups. Happiness with others. So I think you're looking for more connection with someone or with everyone, with family, with friends, just more engagement in life that brings that sharing connection of loving and being loved, right? Every single day, loving and being loved, practicing that, just kind of jumping right into that and going for it because you know that that's what you want and you know that that's what feels good to you. I'm saying that too because you're on the board here. Your major arcana card is here on the table. I'm firstly looking at the 8 of Pentacles. So what are you wanting to do every single day and practice every single day, bring into your day-to-day life? This could be about work. It absolutely could be. And the next card is the Emperor. So when I'm looking at these two cards together, this could be about your career. It could be about your personal empowerment, or this could be about you just being a leader in your job. right? Taking on the lead at work, a management position, a supervisory position, or just owning your work and feeling really, really happy and proud of it. And with the Queen of Swords also being really intuitive and smart and knowing, being aware of the things that you know. So I think that what this is saying is that you work very, very well. You are taking a lead position, or you're leading your life very well. Now, this could be work, it could be school, it could be anything that you do every single day, Eight of Pentacles, that you practice doing every single day. But you're doing it with real leadership. And with the Queen of Swords, you're doing it with good insight. The Queen of Swords internally has wisdom because she uses her mind in both ways. She uses her left brain to be logical, she uses her right brain to be intuitive, which is why she's aware and she knows. She has knowledge. She's a knowledgeable queen. He or she, but the she part, the queen, means the yin energy of swords, which is internally your intellectual capability. And you're just leading the pack here, like you're doing really well. So what's coming up for you to pause and take a look at? What opportunity that you're going to want to jump into that feels like an opportunity with the Wheel of Fortune that you're really wanting to look at, because it could bring you real happiness and joy in your life. It could add to your life. So maybe this is about other people joining in or stepping up as a leader to team build, that kind of thing, and doing that maybe at work. Again, the second line, I'm seeing the Three of Pentacles, and this is working beautifully with others, working really well with others. Now, the next two cards, before I actually show you, just let me look really quickly, closely at the artwork. Okay. Interesting, I just got a side message. All right. Well, first of all, I have the Three of Pentacles working with others, okay? Working in cooperation or collaboration with others. But then in the center of your reading today, I have the Seven of Swords. And that, question mark above the head, question mark, what is the Seven of Swords? As a reader, we always look at the Seven of Swords and go, because the Seven of Swords can be the tricky fox card, right? So we have to pay attention to what it is. But because it's in the center of your reading today, it's making me pause and say, okay, well, what is this? And next to that, I'm looking at the Magician. These two cards together can be someone who is doing something underhanded. So what it's saying is there may be someone in and among your peers or in the group, whether it's at work, I would just say in the group right now, who could be stealing the ideas of others, taking credit for the ideas of others, and perhaps taking credit for your ideas. And the reason I say that is because you've got the Emperor card in your top row. So you may need to assert yourself. You may need to assert yourself and say, okay, well, for the good of everybody in this environment, you need to take yourself forward and speak. And again, like I said, this week, your planet, Mars and Mercury, the planet of communication, squares Saturn, and Saturn is about work too. So this could be a butting of heads at work. And if the Seven of Swords Magician is about someone stealing someone's ideas, because the Magician creates something out of nothing. And the Seven of Swords, if you look at it, he's sort of running away from the Magician, the person who came up with the ideas, but looking back at the Magician, like not wanting to get caught. So number one, I would say, just keep your eyes open, take a pause, and really look. And, you're not doing it to be opportunistic and take advantage of the fact that you've got somebody who's taking credit for stuff, so you're just going to out them at work and, spill the beans. But you could be a whistleblower, okay, this week, and say, the Queen of Swords doesn't have any problem saying what she needs to say. The Queen of Swords stands in her truth and can speak the truth quite easily. And next to the Emperor, that's someone who can speak their mind. So if you need to speak up at work and call somebody out, that could happen, Aries. But I guess what I want to say about it is, you know, the Three of Pentacles came first before the Seven of Swords Magician. So it's like you have to do it in a really cooperative way, in a diplomatic way, acting like the Emperor, the best of your major arcana, right? The best of yourself, with as much diplomacy, as much aplomb, as much class and dignity as you can muster. And either talk to the person themselves and say, look, you need to give that person credit because that was their idea. Or, you know, if you're going to the boss with it because you see it as a pattern that's been an issue, something like that. You know, something like that could be happening this week. Under that, I'm seeing the Three of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. So this could be something that gets someone fired. So I would be very careful right now, especially before Christmas. It could be handled internally if this is something at work that's going on. Because then I've got the Three of Wands. I've got 3 threes here. Now that is, numerologically for me, 3 threes is kind of a magic number. Think about, you know, the triangle, the triad, 3 threes. It is a moment of creation, right? 3, the magic number, right? The moment of creation. And when there are 3 threes, it just means that this creative moment actually extrapolates itself out for a long period of time. That's what it says to me. So it can bode well for the future. So that this is a very important time for you to show yourself, I think, Aries, in one way or another, as a leader, Emperor. As a leader. So in other words, not humiliating someone by calling them out in the middle of the room in front of everyone necessarily. And not going to the boss and saying, yeah, so-and-so does this, so why don't you give me their job? I'll take their job, right? So not being opportunistic, not calling somebody out to humiliate them. You want to do this on the side of justice, right? You do. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this. It's like being your best self. So the pause is think before you speak. See an opportunity to bring grace to the situation. So perhaps you can talk to the person themselves and say, you know, everybody wants to feel seen and heard, and I understand that you want to be given credit where credit's due, but you can't take the credit of others, right? That kind of thing. If you're the boss. If not, then you might in some way take a leading position to where that person gets a little bit of counseling, maybe, unless it's just outright theft, and you got to call it out. So that's a big work scenario that I'm seeing for you. But let's go down the vertical and see what else I see, because that was so big, and I'm not sure what it has to do with the bottom of the deck. It's like you're going toward a change, and you're really going toward being happy with others, right? This 10 of Cups situation is a really happy environment where everybody gets along great, you know, that kind of thing. So maybe it's having to be bold and brave enough to change something so that the environment works better. So, you know, it's more like team player kind of 10 of Cups. Like everybody will get along much better once this sort of, you know, the bad apple. You don't want the bad apple to spoil the whole bunch, right? That kind of thing. All right, so down on the vertical, we have the 8 of Pentacles at work, 3 of Pentacles, and working together with others, with the 3 of Swords. So somebody may be let go. That's a potential, or it just may really hurt their feelings, because if this is somebody that you really like working with and you realize that they've done something that's a little less than virtuous at work, you know, maybe you could take the lead as the Emperor and give them a heads up. Look, You got to make that right. Seven of Swords, calling them out. Queen of Pentacles, acting with as much nurturance and caring as you can and saying, you know, I think you should make that right. You know, if it's a friend that you work with, and kind of leading them to do the right thing. Financially, especially with the Queen of Pentacles, Earth could be very, you know, Seven of Swords, Pentacles together, you know, it's surrounded by Pentacles, to me is some type of theft. Or at least someone being inauthentic or in some way doing something underhanded at work. If it's not at work, Pentacles, Pentacles, Earth, then it's just, you know, that it could be theft. Could be identity theft. If you're going through an identity theft issue, you will work that out with this, everything under the deck. Looks to me like you will. And there's an opportunity for you to do so. Right now, at the second or the third row, we have the Queen of Swords, who can speak up with Magician and speak well. Someone who speaks very articulately and can really express themselves well. With the Three of Wands, can bring about a better future, something coming in, because the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords is about being able to say what needs to be said, speaking the truth. And with the Magician, creating the space for something in the future to come in that brings a better result than the situation that's going on right now. So let's look at pause one more time and look at it through that lens. Pause. I think it's going to be important for whatever this is about, because the Seven of Swords, like I said, you know, this person's taking something that doesn't belong to them. So be careful about that. All right, pause. Take a moment to assess what is really going on at this time. You are holding on to control, not allowing many wonderful blessings to come into your life. Grant yourself an opportunity to get into the sunshine. You deserve to receive this new prospect. So if someone's stolen something from you, you know, is taking credit for your work, or someone took a position that was really due to you, you may want to be able to, you know, lead as the emperor, the best of yourself. Take the lead, stand up for yourself. That's what, you know. Resistance can create unnecessary blocks. Interference can be caused by a multitude of energies, including your own attitude, other people, and so on. Create the opportunity to regroup and don't feel the need to fight what is happening. It's a waste of energy. So you're just going to regroup one way or another, whatever this is about. Even if it's at home, right? Or at school, that kind of situation. If you're going to college and you're considering cheating on a test, something like that, you know, this is all really saying it's going to have an effect. Those 3 threes to me means, to me, this is going to lead you probably for the next 6 to 9 months, because we're coming into eclipse season, and I think it's going to have bearing going further into the future, so be careful. All right, Aries, that's what I've got for you this week. Wow, that just came right in. If it's not your story, please listen to your other signs, your moon, your rising, or your Venus, depending on what you're interested in considering for the week. All right, thanks for stopping by. I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Thanks, Aries.